According to the climate change criers, cow burps are one of the biggest threats to our entire planet, and the solution is a mask to catch cow burps. I'm not making this up. You can look at the picture for yourself. Cow emissions are supposedly more detrimental to the environment than all the cars on the road put together, because cows burp methane. So this mask is supposed to catch cow burps to save the planet. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders wants you to give him all your money and all your freedom to save the planet too. Keep in mind, these climate change criers are the same people who get their science from a 15-year-old girl who doesn't go to school. But cow masks really take the cake. So here's my point tonight. If you want to convince me to give all my money to the United Nations and give away all my liberty to Bernie Sanders and sit here quietly while AOC and her squad impose socialism on the United States and call it the Green New Deal, I'm going to need you to answer a few questions first. Number one, why should I believe your doomsday prophecies about climate change now when your predictions about the climate for the past 50 years have not come true? I was told polar bears would be extinct by now. The polar ice caps would disappear, that we would die from an ice age by the year 2000, that we'd all resort to cannibalism due to food shortages in the West, that England would be swallowed up by the sea, the Netherlands would be uninhabitable, that children would never know what snow is. And none of those predictions came true. It did not happen. Why should I believe you now? Number two, if you can't tell me with any scientific certainty to what degree my carbon emissions negatively impact the climate, why should I just take your word for it? How is that science? It's not science. It's opinion-based speculation backed by a political agenda. Number three, if there's a consensus from scientists that man-made climate change poses a threat to our very existence, why do you have to manipulate the numbers and lie about it? You claim that 97% of scientists agree on climate change, but I took a look at that study. That factoid is based on a paper put together by so-called citizen scientists, which claimed that 97.1% of published scientific papers on climate change agreed that man has caused at least half of the global temperature warming since the year 1950. This report claimed to analyze 11,944 papers to draw the 97.1% conclusion, but all they actually did was search for the keywords global warming or global climate change in the database. That's it. No context. When real scientists actually read the 11,944 papers, they found that only 41 of the papers explicitly stated that humans caused the majority of global warming since 1950. Do you know what percentage that is? 0.3% of scientists in these papers. Not 97.1%, 0.3%. Question number four. If you truly think the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't do everything now, aren't you the biggest hypocrites in the world for taking private jets and driving gas-guzzling SUVs and leaving a bigger carbon footprint than all of us everyday people put together? Number five, name one socialist country that hasn't caused significant environmental damage. And then explain to me how the Soviet Union, Cuba, Venezuela, and China, with their socialist and communist governments, do better than the United States in our free market innovation to take care of the planet. Number six, and finally, convince me that you aren't in a climate cult by answering this question. If you ban fossil fuels and you ban nuclear power, millions and millions and millions of people on this planet will die. So which is more important, people or the planet? The thing is, I don't think you can answer those questions. The only thing you've got is masks to catch cow burps.